Hey guys, it's Cece, and I'm here to do my January TBR, which also includes the TBR for a readathon. So, from January 4th to the 10th, I am participating in one of my favorite readathons, TBR Takedown, and this one is going to be TBR Takedown 3.0. I have participated in TBR Takedown each time it's been done. It was the first readathon I ever participated in, and I absolutely love participating. It was created by Shannon over at Leaning Lights, and I will leave the link to her channel down below so you can go and you can watch the announcement video, and you can also participate in TBR Takedown because it is a great readathon with not a lot of pressure. There are some challenges, but there's not a maximum or a minimum number of books you can read, so it's really just whatever you can get done, and it's really nice, and I really like it. So let me just do the TBR that I have for January. First up, I wanted to mention the book I'm currently reading, and that is The Mystery of the Blue Train by Agatha Christie. This didn't quite make it in December because I added a few books, so I never got to this one, but I did start it January 1st, and I'm absolutely loving it. I am so having fun reading this book, and I'll definitely finish it in the next day or so. But let's talk TBR Takedown. So for TBR Takedown 3.0, there are 7 challenges, but as I said, there is no minimum number of books you can read, so I have chosen 5 books because that is the number I have read in the past for each TBR Takedown. So yeah, let's go over the 5 books I'm planning to read. First up is Life as We Knew It by Susan Beth Pfeffer. I am very excited to read this. This has been on my TBR for a very long time. And that is one of the challenges. So Life as We Knew It counts for the challenge book that has been on your TBR shelf the longest or for over a year. And while I have only owned this book for like 2 weeks, maybe, I have wanted to read it since 2011. So I've wanted to read it for a good long time. It's been on my TBR for a long time, and I cannot wait. But besides that, this is also the book from my most recent haul. Like I said, I just got it very recently, a little bit after Christmas, so that is also counting for this challenge. This book is just sort of a end of the world story. That's pretty much what I know about it. There is a storm that knocks the moon closer to Earth, and that is not a good thing. So yeah, I'm very excited to finally read this book. The next one I'm going to be reading for the readathon is The 13th Reality, Void of Mist and Thunder by James Dashner. This is the 4th and final book in the 13th Reality series, which is a series I have read for a number of years and just never finished. So this is just sort of a young adult story about a group of people who can travel between realities, and it's just an adventure, and it's wonderful, and I'm finally going to be finishing the series, so this counts for the challenge. Read the sequel in a series or finish a series. I'm gonna finally finish one off as soon as I read some summaries for the first 3 books, because I've kind of forgotten them a bit. The next book I'm going to read for TBR Takedown is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, and this one I am going to count as my not a traditional novel read. This is, I don't know, it's not a traditional novel. It's sort of a short story, it's sort of a graphic novel, it's illustrated. Anyway, I am so excited to read this book. I wanted to read it desperately for so long, and I think it looks really fantastic, and I cannot wait to start it. This may be the first thing I read for TBR Takedown. For the challenge, first book in a series, I'm going to be reading Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I'm finally starting the Lunar Chronicles. If you don't know what the Lunar Chronicles are, it is a series of retellings, and each book kind of follows a different retelling, and Cinder is obviously a retelling of Cinderella, but there's some cyborg elements, so it's sci-fi also. This book is just incredibly up my alley, and I'm finally starting it. First book, I'm ready. And the final book that I'm reading for TBR Takedown is Me Before You by Jojo Moyes, and this book is counting for my out of my comfort zone book because it is adult romance, and I definitely do not read that very often, and it is also counting for the challenge, read a book with like fire colors because they are the lucky colors of 2016, so red, pinks, burgundies, that kind of thing. This book is very red. That's what it's counting for. This book is supposed to make me cry, it's supposed to be beautiful, and I've wanted to read it since I bought it last summer, so it's about time I got to it. And because I can't set myself an easy goal for a TBR, I have kind of a lot of books to read in January in general, so after TBR Takedown ends, I still have 4 more books I really want to read. The first book is really short, and that is The Robber Bridegroom by the Brothers Grimm. This has a few different short stories in it, and it looks really interesting. I love the Brothers Grimm, and it is very short, so I'll be able to get through it very quickly. In January, I also want to read Desert of the Heart by Jane Rule. This book just looks... I don't know, this book just definitely intrigues me. It is about a woman who gets divorced and moves to Reno and then starts to fall in love with an older female casino owner there. And I'm just very excited about it. I've wanted to read it since I bought it like a month ago. This book has just been one of the ones on my shelf that I've wanted to read the most, so I'm very excited to get to it in January. Also, I'm going to check off another of those top 16 to read in 16 requirements, and I'm going to read some new Dean Koontz, and the one that I'm planning on reading at present is By the Light of the Moon by Dean Koontz. I've just really wanted to read more by him, and I've read the back of this book, and I know what it's about, kind of, but I already forgot it, and I'd rather just go in blind and see what's here, and I think that it's going to be really exciting, so I cannot wait to start some more Dean Koontz. And the final book that I want to read in January is a hefty one, and that is Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld. I have had this book for far too long, and I really need to get to it. It is a hefty one. It's a bit thick, but also it's just heavy in general. And this book follows Darcy, who is a novelist and is about to get her first teen novel published. And then alternately, it also follows Darcy's lead character, Lizzie, in her fantastical world, so it kind of trades off. And this book is also LGBTQIA. I believe Darcy is queer. She's in a relationship with a woman, so I'm very excited about this one as well. I've put it off for far too long, probably because it scares me with its heft, but I'm definitely going to finally read this book. So there you go, that is my TBR for TBR Takedown, as well as all of January. If you have read any of these books, please let me know what you thought of them, and also let me know what some of the books you're going to be reading this month are. And of course, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!